August 10th. I could write about all the talks we had, about the first night we spent together, about looking for an apartment and then finding it, about moving in, about pretty much anything that only involved the two of us. But I think it's time to move on. This isn't a feel good journal after all. It was a Thursday, coming up to a year since Grace and I started dating. I was at the cash register. Grace wasn't in the store. An old lady was counting her change, slowly and with trembling hands, when Anna walked in. Anna didn't buy anything. She went for the register, towards me, empty handed. The sight of her approaching made my heart start to beating like mad. My head hurt. I knew the moment I saw her that she meant trouble. Jack? My God, is that you, Jack? She had the nerve to pretend she'd stumbled upon me by accident, like she hadn't tracked me down. But I didn't have it together. I couldn't see through her acting. I was confused, panicking, not sure why. Excuse me, miss? Is it you? Please don't cut in line, miss. It's not fair to the other customers. The old lady was still tackling her mess of coins. She didn't seem to notice much around her. Don't play silly with me, Jack. It's you, isn't it? Yes, my name is Jack, but you've got me confused with someone else. There's a lot of Jacks out there. Oh, come on. You're you, alright? Put my hand on the counter, deciding myself. She reached out as if to place her hands on mine. I jerked my hand back like she was going to bite me. It's me. It's Anna. Don't you remember your old friend? No, we've never met. I guess it has been a while. 15 years? Not me. Must be someone else. Anna stared right at me. Through me. I thought I'd either boil or freeze. Sure, it's you. Let's go somewhere and talk about old times. I know a great restaurant just 2 streets over. Look, lady. Even if I was this friend of yours, I have a job to do. So let me get on with it. You're bothering the customers. Customers weren't bothered one bit. They hated anyone, it was probably me. After all, I was being so rude to this pretty, charming girl who only wanted to talk to her friend. That's a good point, Jack. What are you gonna do in this place? What are you doing in this place? It's a pile of trash. Someone like you doesn't belong here. I was through trying to reason with her. Crossed my arms and said nothing, hoping she wouldn't notice that my heart was pounding way too fast. Anna gave me a good hard look. So that's how it is. I'll see you later, Jack. And she went away. I let out a long breath I hadn't noticed I was holding. I felt awful. Even worse, I felt Anna had been right. There had definitely been something familiar with her. But I didn't want to find out more. Next time she comes in, I'll treat her the same way, I told myself, guessing correctly that there'd be a next time, guessing wrongly that it'd be at the store. I'll do it again and again until she gives up. I don't know what she wants, but I won't give an inch. The old lady cried out. She found a quarter. August 11th. It's weird, isn't it? How I just write today's date like that and then go right to telling about something that happened months ago. I should write down when that stuff happened. But it was so long ago, I didn't think I can remember the exact dates. Ah, who cares? This is only for me anyway. It can be a jumbled mess. Sometimes I feel like I should write more about what's happening now. But nothing is happening. So fuck it. When I told Grace about the girl who called herself Anna and who called me Jack even though we didn't wear name tags, she took it like it was good news. That's amazing, Jack. She mustn't She must have recognized you from childhood. She said 15 years, didn't she? That's right from the time you can't remember. I don't know, she might be some sort of scam artist. I just come up with that idea of Anna being a scam artist. Seemed a good enough excuse not to go near her again. Yeah, right. Come on, Jack, at least give her the benefit of the doubt. I don't need her, Grace. I've got you. Jack, I'm not telling you to sleep with her. Don't be so rude to her next time, okay? I wasn't being rude. You still were. Okay, so what if I was? It's not fair to her. She seems like a nice girl. And don't you think that it'd be good for you too? To be friends with her? No, not really. She could tell you about your past, and maybe some things would start making sense. You could put whatever happened behind you. But nothing happened. Something must have happened, Jack. People don't. Grace fell silent. Instead of continuing, she started running her fork through the peas on her plate. We were having dinner. People don't what? Well, people don't do that at night, unless something happened to them. I keep telling you, it must be some weird kind of insomnia. Nothing more. Sleeping pills don't work on it. Something will eventually. But why not try this? The memories you have, it's like they want out. I think they should get out too. Then you won't be scared of whatever happened anymore. And how does that work exactly? You'll be able to face it properly. It's helped me a lot, Thinking about what happened to me, seeing it's not so bad as I thought it was. I stubbornly refused to answer, and went on eating like there hadn't been a conversation at all. What Grace had referred to was something I'd only recently found out. Apparently, I shuddered and kicked at night a lot. Sometimes I all out screamed. Maybe I still do all that. Who knows? Maybe the staff and patients were too polite to point it out. No, I don't scream at night anymore. I'm fairly sure I don't. Though that's not to say I can sleep all that well. Funny how at one point, something like that was the biggest problem in my life. It was so long ago. Or at least it was like so long ago. So much has happened since then. Anyway, the morning after, I would wake up sweaty and tired, but it wasn't until Grace told me about the screaming that I found out why. Grace said it happened about once a week. It really freaked her out, the first few times it happened, but then she got used to it. Or as used to it as you can get. Makes me feel like an asshole, realizing how nonchalant I was about it. Screaming every few nights in my sleep I felt, a small price to pay so I wouldn't have to bother with the past. But it didn't matter in the end if I decided to face the past or not. Either way, it was coming. The second time Anna and I met as adults, we were neighbors. I was coming back home from a morning shift at the store. I went into our building, up to the second floor, down the hall to mine and Grace's door, and I froze. There was something standing in front of our door. That someone was her. Anna. Jack? Oh goodness. What are you doing here? Don't tell me you... She pointed at the door as if to ask if I lived there. Yes, that's my apartment. As you damn well know. The hallway air felt warm and stale, soup-like. What are you doing here? I was going to say hello to my new neighbor. So, hello. Wait, huh? Around here. She pushed something into my hands. It was a plate wrapped in plastic wrap. There was something brown on the plate. Brownies. I'm sure you'll like them, Jack. But we're not neighbors. I spat the words out. Yes, we are. I'm right over there. Anna showed me a door to the right of mine. Ah. The place had been empty for weeks. I'm Pretty sure the guy who lived there before, that was a heroin addict. He didn't seem so bad now. What an amazing coincidence, though. To think we'd end up living so close by again. It's not a coincidence, is it? Pardon? Come on, really? What are you trying to do? It's obvious you planned this. There's no way something like this could happen by accident. Anna laughed. It was a sound like a fork scraping a plate. Well, you can believe it's a coincidence, or you can believe it's not. Either way, we'll be seeing each other pretty often. Enjoy the brownies. Thanks. I'm not a big fan of sweet stuff, but I'm sure Grace will love them. Grace? Who is Grace? My girlfriend. Pointed at her door with my thumb. We live together. My idea was that in case she was acting like this because she was interested in me, I'd generally tell her I was taken. Grace. Yes. She must be a nice girl. The best I've ever known. She's lucky to have you. It's the other way around. Well, it's been nice chatting. I'll say hi to Grace for you. I should go in and say hello myself. No need. And she's not here right now. But, bye. I pretended to unlock the door. It was already unlocked because Grace was home. I slipped in and shut the door in Anna's face. In the apartment, I found I could breathe freely again. Son of a bitch! Talk to this girl? Be friends with her? Not a chance. She'd creep me the hell out. Writing all this down, I can see why Grace thought I was overreacting. Plain facts, if it didn't seem that bad at all. A friend I hadn't seen in years noticed me at my workplace, talked with me a bit, and then happened to move in right next to me. But I knew right from the start that there was something off about her. That's not something to ignore. Paranoid? Yeah. But in this case, I was right to be paranoid. It's because I let my guard down that all that shit happened. Still no word from the doctor about when I'll be able to get out of here. In fact, I hadn't seen him in days. I hope he's just busy. What if something happened to him? It's the paranoia talking again. No, that's not paranoia. That's plain stupid. Anna can't make a doctor disappear and get away with it. But I've got to say, if this doctor did disappear, it would be much of a loss to the hospital, I think. I'll have to ask him to give me some neck exercises I can do. My neck hurts for craning my head to side all the time to look at the sky. Well, at least the weather's bad now. I'm not looking there as much. It's weird how a little neck pain is causing me trouble, with how broken and battered the rest of me is. No, I probably shouldn't mention my neck to him. It might up my dosage, and what'll I do then? My brain turn to mush? Maybe then I'd be happy. In any case, I have things to do. I need a clear mind to do them. I hope that what I'm writing makes sense. I hope I hadn't gone down the rabbit hole already, and all I'm doing is scrawling line after line of meaningless chicken scratch. But that'd be pretty funny, I guess. In a pretty unfunny way. August 12th. Anna's brownies were tasty. I didn't have any, but Grace said so. I wanted to throw the brownies into the trash, but Grace caught the one of them too quickly. She's like a bloodhound when it comes to sweet stuff, chocolate especially. And then, of course, I had to explain where I got them. Huh, weird. I know, right? There's no way it's a coincidence. Yeah, it must be a sign. A sign of what? That she's stalking me? You know, it is weird that she was stalking me since she knew where I lived, but that she didn't know about Grace. I mean, she couldn't have known, with how surprised she was. I don't think she was acting. Was it just a coincidence then? No, absolutely not. That I refuse to accept. I think I'll go say hi. I could make something for her too. Do we have any butter left? I want to bake her cookies. Yeah, and then you'll eat most of them on your own. Hey! I don't see the point of going to visit her, though. We'll see her more than enough of her anyway. We live so close by. We're neighbors. I want us to get started on the right foot. And maybe she and I could be friends. I think that'd be nice. I wrapped my arms around her. Of course, you deserve that. But please, find a friend that's not her. Why? Once again, I couldn't properly explain why. I couldn't put it down as anything more than a hunch. A gut feeling I'd get whenever I was near her. I've at least got to see her for myself, to see if she's really such a horrible person. Trust me, you're better off without it. The next day in the afternoon, I was lying down on her sofa. I was nursing a headache that'd been with me since morning. Grace told me she'd be right back. She went out of the apartment with something in her hands, and then a smell of freshly baked cookies wafered out of the kitchen. It still took me about 2 minutes to piece the puzzle together. Ah, shit, I whispered. I was immediately up. Not good, not good. Panic struck me harder than I would expect. It was like, with Grace seeing Anna all by herself, some vulnerable part of me was exposed. I wanted to bring Grace back and lock the door and keep her safe, and never ever let her out of my sight. But I also didn't want to go in there. I just stood there, head in my hands, wondering what the hell to do. All at once I was telling myself to go there, you coward, but also to stay here, you idiot. Somewhere far away, a tiny little voice, very tiny, very little, was telling me I was overreacting. Then there came the loud sound of glass breaking. I'd come from, where else? Anna's apartment? I went to the wall that separated our apartments. Now there was no sound at all, nothing to explain the crash. I finally overcame my cowardice. I dashed out of the apartment to hers. When I got there, I saw broken glass and blood and Grace kneeling down, and Anna stood above her, and they were both smiling. They stopped when they noticed me there, out of breath and confused. Jack? Hi, Jack. Did you decide to join us? No, What the hell's going on? This. Anna waved her hand at the floor and all the bits of glass, white ceramic actually. There was also scattered cookies and drops of blood. Yes, that. Just looking at the blood made me feel sick, like I was going to throw up, but I couldn't peel my eyes away from it. I've always been like that around blood. I've never had the stomach for it. Grace was picking up the broken pieces of ceramic. There was a little accident. An accident? Yes, what else? Grace, what happened? It's my fault, really. Cookies were hotter than I thought, and so I dropped the whole plate. And it was Anna's plate, too. Be careful, Grace. You might cut yourself. She's cut herself already. Look. Huh? She only now seemed to notice the blood around her. Grace shook her hands and turned them around a few times to see every angle, but found no cuts there. It's not me. It's my blood. What? Anna was, I just noticed, holding her left hand tightly with her right. There's a little blood still trickling from between her knuckles. Oh no. Grace's hands hovered around Anna. She looked willing to help, but afraid that she'll do something wrong. How did this even happen? I tried to pick up some of the pieces. They're pretty sharp, aren't they? Hang on, Anna. I'm fine. I don't need you to do anything. The way Anna said that was forceful, almost harsh. Grace backed away. I can still help. She remembered I was there. Jack, go get some gauze. We have gauze? Oh, useless. More frustrated than I'd ever seen her before, Grace ran off to get the gauze herself. She left me there in the belly of the beast. I tried being polite. Shame about the cookies. A real shame. I didn't get to eat a single one. Well, actually, she picked one up with the free fingers of her left hand. Some of her blood got on the cookie. Before I could say anything, she ate it in one bite. Jesus. It's not bad at all. Still warm. You want one? I'll pass. God, you make me sick. That's not a nice. That's not a very nice thing to say, Jack. If anyone else said it, but I'll forgive you. She licked her lips. I should have left, but it was like a frog being stared down by a snake. I wonder what's taking Grace so long. She must be flustered, poor girl. So much worry about a teeny little cut. It's not serious? It's not. How do you know? I've seen lots of cuts. I can imagine. Anna laughed. I'm a nurse. That I couldn't imagine. Still hard to believe, though. I see proof of it every day. That's a lot of blood. You don't believe me? Look. She showed me her hand. The cut ran from the base to her thumb towards the middle of her hand. The wound was thin, but long and ragged. The skin around the wound was pale and moist, showing how fresh the cut was. I could have puked. Oh, does it look bad? Don't worry. It won't even scar. Stop that. You really, I don't remember what I was going to say. It wasn't nice, in any case. What stopped me was Grace coming back. Sorry. It wasn't any gauze. Here. She brought a roll of pink toilet paper. I hope this is good enough. Thank you, Grace, but I don't need it. You don't? No, see? The blood stopped. Anna flashed at me a smile. The corners of her mouth were still red. August 13th. Good day today. Didn't see Anna once. But enough of that. After what happened, where I left off yesterday, I was sure Grace and I were on the same page. But no. In the end, I was the one who cleaned up the bloody mess on the floor. Threw away the cookies before Anna could get her hands on any more. Back in her apartment, Grace let out a long sigh. What a mess, am I right? Yeah, and it was my fault. I met Anna. You did just meet her, right? Yes. And? Well, I can see why you've been avoiding her. If that's what you mean, thank you. She's beautiful. I thought she would be some shy little girl or a crazy cat lady or something. But she's like a model. What? No. Don't try to deny it, Jack. It's why you don't want to go near her, isn't it? You don't want to be tempted. I shook my head. I really didn't see her that way. Now with a little more perspective, I can say it's true. What a waste of good looks. She's much more beautiful than me. Hey, don't say that. She's not. She is. Grace dropped her gauze to stare at her hands. And she wasn't mad that I ruined her plate. She wasn't scared of the blood either. She's just so... I took her hands in mine. They were cold. Grace? Jack, you're beautiful and kind and more beautiful and kind than any other girl in the world. I'm lucky as hell to have you. My cheeks burned. I must have looked like a tomato. I wasn't used to saying stuff like this. I mean it. So don't say stuff like that, okay? Oh. Grace blinked like she'd just woken up. Oh. I've been saying a lot of dumb stuff, I guess. I'm sorry. I am a real hassle, huh? No, don't say that. And don't say you're sorry either. You've done nothing to feel sorry for. She apologized way too often. August 15th. I didn't write anything yesterday. The pain in my leg made it so I couldn't focus. It's been hurting like a bitch these past few days. I gave in and asked the doctor about it. He's fine, by the way. Didn't disappear or anything. Must have taken a few days off. I asked him about the pain, and I asked if he could do anything about it. Apparently the pain is a good sign. I think that's what he said, so I guess my leg is healing alright. But it still hurts. When the doctor went away, I complained out loud that it hurts. One of the other patients wouldn't have thought I was talking to him. The patients here now are not the same guys I mentioned before. Maybe one is, but that's all. The others went away. To another part of the hospital, or home, or maybe to the morgue. I don't know. I wasn't keeping track. So I said something about how my leg hurt, and a guy on the bed next to mine, a kid, actually, can't be more than 18 or 19, starts talking to me. I think he was saying how he's in a lot of pain too. I couldn't understand most of it though. His jaw has been wired shut. Anything he tries to say turns to moans and a lot of drool. Then a nurse came in, not Anna, and I told him he shouldn't speak if he wants to keep his mouth to get better. So he shut up. Not much else has happened, but my leg really is bothering me. It's a deep pain. It doesn't feel like it's healing. It feels wrong, in a way that makes my teeth hurt too. I'll stop with the leg now. I have to get my mind off it. It hurts so much. I'll check where I left off the day before yesterday and go from there. You're not coming with us? Again? No, I don't feel like it. But Anna is so great to hang out with. Yesterday we went window shopping, then we went to a cafe, and then we had ice cream in the park. Fun. It was. Anna is a really interesting person. You should give her a chance. I want us to all be friends. So please come along. No, I'll pass. Sorry. A moment later, Anna came in without knocking. She never knocked before. Anymore. Ready, Grace? Yes, in a minute. Grace heaved a sigh. Are you sure you don't want to go? Yes, I'm sure. Go have fun without me. Okay then, some other time. We kissed. Have fun. We will. Bye. Grace and Anna became friends. Good friends, very soon after they first met. I was against it, but I found it hard to complain seeing Grace so happy. They spent quite a lot of time together. Whenever I said anything about this, Grace would tease me. She'd say I was jealous, but she would also invite me to come with. I always declined. I eventually got used to it. Things were quiet for a while. Once at the store, I was applying discounts during work hours. Shouldn't have been done before we opened, but someone had been slacking off. I won't point fingers. It was Don, the old guy. So I was the one stuck wondering what kind of dog food the 20% off should go on. Or something like that. The lists they gave us were always terrible, so full of corrections you could barely read them. As I was about to choose at random where to apply this discount sticker, someone put a hand on my shoulder. Oh, Anna. There was a tightness in my chest, but it passed within seconds. As I said, I'd gotten used to it. She didn't scare me anymore. Hi. How are you, Jack? I'm alright, thanks. Hey, random question. Do you like big dogs or small dogs? Big dogs, I guess. I see. Bent down and placed a sticker reducing the price of the dog food that had one of the wiener dogs in the packaging. Grace is in the break room, by the way. I know, I was just there. But I wanted to see you. Yeah? Why? I hadn't seen you at all for the past week, Didn't you notice? I guess. I was called into work a lot, and you must have been busy here too. Yep, busy. We should meet more often. After all these years apart, we must have a lot of stories to tell, huh? Yeah, maybe. Jack, you mentioned dogs, right? Right. Was that because of Buddy? Who's Buddy? So you don't remember anything? Nope. I don't remember this Buddy, and I don't remember knowing you either. Of course, now I do know about Buddy. I don't remember his breed or how old he was, or anything other than his name, really, but I do know of him. A certain picture book told me. That's really too bad, but it'll all come back to you, I'm sure. Who knows? But he was a really sweet dog. You liked him a lot. I shrugged. And he loved you. But then again, that dog loved everyone. He was so trusting. Too trusting? I'm sure he was. Are you really fine with not knowing about so much of your life, Jack? Yeah, I am. I'm used to it by now. I think I would feel weird if I could remember, actually. I suppose it's easier in a way. There are some things best forgotten after all, aren't there? Yeah, of course there are. And I wish some of those things would have had the decency to stay forgotten. Why mention it now, though? Oh, no reason. I was just a little curious. Uh-huh. I didn't believe her. I sensed that there was something in particular she wanted me to remember. I do know what that is now, but I still don't know why she wants me to remember what she did. Is it is it a sick form of love, or does she want to finish the job? Is it both? I don't know. I really don't. Her mind is as much of a mystery to me now as it ever was. Dear Diary, I found him. It was beautiful. It was like fate. It was fate. As soon as I came to the city, I caught his scent in the air a little, but mostly smelled homeless people and gasoline. Why did you go all the way out here, Jack? You love nature, the smell of pines, where we grew up? I was ready to spend weeks looking for you, Jack. Or months, years if I had to. I even got a job at the hospital here. They're understaffed, so it was easy. But there you were, in the first store I went to. I didn't even go in to look for you. Fate, fate, fate. But you were, a little strange. Surely you recognized me. I hadn't changed that much, have I? I mean, it's been a while, and I have tried to make myself pretty for you, in every way I can think of, but you knew it was me, right? I knew it was you. You hadn't forgotten me. Were you pretending, playing a game? Yes, that must be it. Well, I'd love to wait and see what you're doing, dear, but I've been a patient girl for too long. Dear Diary, Friday. Jack Friday. I know he changed his name to that, but it's just so funny, isn't it? We'll have to change it back, Jack, for when we're married. I want the real one to follow my first name. Jack Friday. Made me giggle when I saw it in your employee records, darling. I just had to peek, nothing more. Just to see where you live. I wanted to follow you home at first, but then I thought, hey, wouldn't it be insanely romantic if next time I saw you we lived next to each other? I know you're playing your little game if you don't know me anymore, but that's not too much, is it? Being neighbors? You won't be angry, right? And if it makes you angry, I have to at least do this, right? I can't wait anymore. I'm tired of being myself. I've waited this I've waited this long already. I've prepared for you so much. Maybe you won't be mad. Because please don't be mad. Please. P.S. One other thing, darling. The street where you live isn't in a terrible part of town. Run down and cheap and even dangerous. I hadn't been here for long, but I think that's right. Is that the part of your game too? And in a store, that must be it as well. Someone like you should never work there. So that instead you should be a gosh, I can't even imagine what. And isn't that perfect? I don't want you working anywhere. I want you all from me. Dear Diary, the street is worse than I thought. God, the smell. Do you really know what you're doing, Jack? No, shouldn't doubt you, I know. The rent is cheap at least, very cheap. But more important than that or anything else, there was a vacancy right next door to your apartment. I can't wait to move in. We'll be neighbors. To see so much of you, it will make me drunk. Dear Diary, what a beautiful dump. I said this to the landlord when I brought my things here. He thought I was complaining. He said I should have checked out the apartment before I rented it. He's an idiot. There could be a swarm of rats or roaches living in the apartment, or crack addicts, for that matter, and I wouldn't give a damn. But still, I can't keep it dirty forever. I have to practice my homemaking skills. Time to make this dump at home. Dear Diary, just back from a quick jog, gotta stay in shape, and the brownies are just about done. I know, I should have kept an eye on them. But I've been doing this for long enough, you know. The brownies are perfect. Not burnt, not raw, just right. I hope he likes them. Jack. I don't know if I can go on. Who is this girl? I'm the one for you, the only one for you. And yet you. I know this is a part of your plan, but you didn't have to do it this way. Why are you being so cruel? I have work now. I don't care. I'll go sleep. Dear Diary. Cried all the bad feelings out. Things don't seem nearly as bad now. Jack is testing me, so I have to show him I have what it takes. This is nothing at all. I can do this. Dear Diary, I met her today. Grace. I hope she doesn't get in the way. She's a sweet girl. But she's clumsy. She dropped a plate, my plate too, of cookies, and there were cookies and broken pieces of glass everywhere. I'm pretty clumsy too, I guess. I cut myself on a shard when I tried to pick it up. Jack came in just as I got cut. He must have sensed I was hurt. There was a lot of blood for a wound so small. The blood reminded me of that time. It always does. I showed it to Jack. He looked like he was going to vomit. Great acting, Jack. Dear Diary, I've gotten better at playing along with Jack's little game. I see him a lot more now, everywhere I go. Nearly half of those times I've even trying to make our paths cross. Fate. I'm also seeing Grace a lot more. She's always asking me to go somewhere with her or to chat. She's always coming over to my apartment without Jack. She's become a real bother, honestly, but I act nice. The girl tells me things about Jack, after all. Though, of course, she doesn't know anything about him that I don't. That's because she doesn't really know Jack. But now I know what she's pretending to be like. He told Grace that he has amnesia. It's a little unoriginal, Jack, don't you think? That's okay, though. She believes you. That dumb little... Dear Diary, I'm troubled. I'm starting to think that Jack is not pretending. What if he really has forgotten all about me? No, I can't have that. I need a sign, Jack. Just one little sign. So that I know you remember. One sign, and anything is fine. Dear Diary, Jack doesn't remember me. I'm pretty sure of it now. He doesn't remember anything. Darn. That's a good thing. He hasn't been acting cold on purpose. I'll give his memory a little jog, and that'll be that. Good as new. But this also means that he's serious about that Grace girl. We can't have that, no. Starting to see your true colors. She's a filthy seductress, alright. She's also an idiot. She invited me for dinner tomorrow at her apartment. Her and Jack's apartment. The apartment they're sharing together. without me. August 16th. Terrible day, really awkward. Anna was hovering around me all day. I swear she was here for more work than 2 shifts. How the bell does that work? I couldn't write out that at all. She's only gone now, and it's after midnight. I guess I should mark this as the 17th then, not the 16th. Oh, who cares? I have to write in the dark, but that's fine. I don't see it being a problem. Not long after, I did write about how Anna came to see me at the store that one time. Yeah, I did. Not long after that, Grace invited Anna over for dinner. She could have told me before asking Anna, not that I would have said no. I didn't have an excuse to say no. But I mean, she only told me about the dinner a few hours before it. Yes, I was preparing for a really relaxed evening, and all of a sudden Grace says we should start making dinner. I forgot to tell you, Jack. I shouldn't be so bitter and childish. People forget. It happens. She didn't mean anything by it. It still rubbed me the wrong way, though. Anna was going to invade my home and be there for hours. I'm pretty sure I had every right to be angry about that. No, I'm sure I should have sent her packing the first time I saw her, and then when she moved in next to us, and a million times after that. I should have. The fault is mine. So yeah, dinner.